Well, since the beginning of COVID, one of the signs you've been infected is losing a sense of smell, and it's also one of the biggest symptoms of the new variant that is sweeping across the country right now.
Yeah, but there is a way that you can get it back with something called smell retraining. So joining us now to talk about this is Dr. Rodney Schlosser. He's the Director of Rhinology and Sinus Surgery at MUSC in Charleston, South Carolina. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's begin talking about this new variant. Why are people more likely to lose their sense of smell when they're affected with this BA.5?
Well, we know from our research in COVID that the virus actually infects the supporting cells that are around the smelling nerves in the upper part of the nasal cavity. The earliest variants had a very strong attraction to those supporting cells and would cause inflammation and smell loss. And then some of the other variants like Omicron, that actually went way down because the binding was not quite as strong. And now, unfortunately, it seems like this BA.5 variant is now attaching to those supporting cells, similar to the earliest variants we saw in the pandemic.
So I'm curious, how, we've heard about a lot of these long COVID symptoms. How long could the loss of smell last?
Well, over 50% of patients experience short-term smell loss. And unfortunately, with some of these worse variants that we're seeing, like BA.5 and some of the earlier ones, it can be up to 1/3 of patients experience smell loss for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, and for people who haven't experienced this, tell us a little bit about how losing your sense of smell can impact your life.
Well, it's got a huge impact. You can imagine going out to a social event, to go out to a cookout or going out to eat with your family and friends. And if you can't taste the food or you can't smell a good glass of wine, it really impacts your quality of life and leads to social isolation and even depression in a lot of cases.
I got to tell you, I had COVID in May, and I've lost my taste for wine and for coffee. I don't know what that says. It's not on the list of symptoms, but I can smell it. I just don't want to taste it. So let's say you say all hope is not lost. People can smell again with something called smell retraining. Can you explain what that is and how it works?
Yeah, so I explain it as being similar to physical therapy. When someone is paralyzed or has struggles to walk after a stroke, they go to therapy every day and they learn to gradually regain function. So smell retraining is exposing yourself to odors, usually 4 or 5 odors twice a day for about 3 to 6 months. And the odors that are classically described are things like lavender and rose and eucalyptus, but you can use anything around the home. And the really cool thing about smelling nerves is they regenerate throughout our lifetime. So over 3 to 6 months, you can restore that normal function of smell, and then you're going to be able to taste your coffee and drink your glass of wine and hopefully get back to your normal quality of life.
All right, so there is some hope. You just got to retrain your nose. So are there any other therapies that someone with this issue can actually experiment with?
Well, there absolutely are a number of new pharmaceutical medications that are being developed. So that's been, COVID has been terrible, but there are some really promising therapies with various nasal sprays. Our center and a number of other centers around the country are looking at this, and hopefully very soon we'll have some FDA trials going on, and that will give even additional hope to these patients.
That is encouraging, that's for sure, because it feels like we learn something new every day. Doctor, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon and joining us to talk about this.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Take care.